You are listening to the Honor and Conquer podcast with me, Dion Sekone-Fraser. Welcome to another Honor and Conquer podcast where each week we talk about people. We talk to people though, from varied backgrounds and talk about the things they're passionate about and why they love it. So if you're new here, please rate, review, and subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or Google Play. A big thank you to our Patreon supporters, Jonathan Hager, Bjorn Linden, Damian Monroe, Me Lee, Sam Marshall, and Tim Mercer. All right, thank you very much to those who pledged $5 so they can get their name or script read on this podcast. And if you want your script read or personal shout out on this podcast, visit patreon.com/honorandconquer for more details. And really quickly, team, if you do your shopping on Amazon, go to our homepage at honorandconquer.com, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, click the Amazon banner, and do your shopping like you normally would. We receive a little kickback on each purchase made. Yeah, it'll be nice. I'm having some technical issues with my mic stand right now. If you're watching on the YouTube, it keeps rotating down like this, so you can't hear me, you know what I mean? So I need it to just fucking stay there. And it's moving. We are also sponsored by Meaty Paleo. Paleo Meat Nut Butter is a delicious and unique blend of nuts and seeds. They are Whole30 approved, non-GMO project verified with no added sugars, not even the ones that are considered acceptable if you are doing paleo, such as honey or maple. And every single jar is handmade fresh. Get your meat nut butter at meatypaleo.com. Use my promo code HONOR for a 10% discount off your online order. And last but not least, we are brought to you by GetOnnit. They are focused on total human optimization of the mind, body, and health. And for a limited time only, exclusive to the podcast listeners, GetOnnit are giving you 2 great deals on 2 of my favorite supplements. It's like the best deal you could get. It's a free 30-count bottle of New Mood, a daily stress and mood support, or a free 28-count bottle of Shroom Tech Sport, which has quickly become my favorite pre-workout supplement to take. It utilizes like oxygen to the blood a little bit more, like in a more efficient way. I need to look more into it, but it's become my favorite one. If I've got Alpha Brain on hand, what I'll do is I'll take 4 Alpha Brains and 4 Shroom Tech Sport before I work out, like an hour before I work out. Or for New Mood, if I need assistance trying to go to sleep or get relaxed, because it's got tryptophan in it, and chamomile, and like those natural herbs that, you know, relax, like are known to relax you. I'll take 2 of those. Depending, I'll take 2 or 4. The recommended amount is 2, but I'll take 2 or 4 before I go to sleep, at least like an hour before I head in. But anyway, you get the free 30-count bottle of New Mood or a free 28-count bottle of Shroom Tech Sport, and all you have to pay is for shipping. And this offer is only available in the United States. Okay? So please visit honorandconquer.com/onnit. That's honorandconquer.com/onnit. Click your preferred link and get optimized today. And while you're there, if you don't want to get any of that, if you don't like the idea of getting any of those, you could just click the link, read the information, and if you want to check out anything else, use the promo code GetOnnit, GetOnnit, and get 10% off site-wide for the supplements. The 10% is only for the supplements, not the, I don't think it is, but I don't think it's for like the maces and all that kind of shit. All right? So please do all that stuff. It'll mean a world to me. It'll go right into the show. So guys, it's just me today. It is just me. I like doing these solo podcasts just as like a catch-up because, you know, I don't want it to get to a point where we have guests on here all the time and then like no one knows what's going on with like the show in general. So over the past 4 weeks, what do we have? We had Isak on last week's show. We had a post-fight podcast. We had the Power Athlete crew on, Luke and Tex, and we had Shane Farmer of Dark Horse Rowing on the podcast. Man, I've been so fortunate with the podcast guests I've had since, July? since June. No, really, when you think about it, June. It's just been solid guests coming, and I'm not saying like, the rest of them aren't solid, but like, in June I had Much Mayhem, I had Chris Sunshine Williams, who just got signed on to Bellator, signed a contract with Bellator. We had Alex Anushian, the head coach at Bang Muay Thai here in Austin, Texas. We had Orlando Rios, who formerly worked at Fleshlight, formerly worked at GetOnnit. We had Naomi, who lives in Wellington. We had Andrea Ager. For the Andrea Ager one, I was so nervous for that one. Just because I've always watched her videos on YouTube, her CrossFit videos, and whenever I see a strong female like lifting some serious weight, it's not that I get embarrassed to, or like not embarrassed but shy. I get really like stoked, like I get super happy for them. You know what I mean? If you're watching this on the YouTube, I get really stoked for them. And it's not in a sexist way. It's just more in like man, that's so cool, lifting all that heavy weight and being around and the CrossFit environment and like proving a lot of stigmas wrong in terms of lifting heavy and all that kind of shit. I had Bonnie Sayan on the podcast too, talking about her rise to fame from just posting a t-shirt on her social media channel of, it was a print on a t-shirt of all her favorite podcasts that she likes to listen to, and then it just caught wind overnight. That's episode 108. And then the week after that, we had the Money Mayweather versus McGregor can't even talk. Post-fight podcast. I should have some water. And then Shane Farmer. I've always wanted to get Shane on the show for the past couple of years, and it's either been fear or whatever. But just never asked him. So I thought, nah, fuck it, let's just ask him now. So I did, and he was happy enough to come on the show. Around that time, I had Tex and Luke from Power Athlete reach out to me, and now here we are. I had Isak on the show, and again, I've been watching Isak's videos since like 2011, no, like 12, if anything, using the steel mace, having him on the show. But man, can you hear that banging? People, they're doing like construction next door. Fucking assholes. Shut the fuck up. But we've had so many people on the show. I'm looking at the archive right now, and even when we started in 2015, I've been doing this show for fucking too long. Too dang long. Wait, 15, 16. Oh, it's almost coming up on 3 years. Or maybe 3 or 4. 3. Maybe for 3 or 4 years. But man, it's seen a lot of change throughout those years, and the podcast, and the sponsors that we've had, and the friends that we've made, and the shows that we've done. And it's what started as a way just to sit down with friends to get to know them better. I mean, the first 10 episodes are solid. I had Kevin Cornell, Tom Dewar, Devonine Schumacher, Jean-Philippe Yonan on the show. Episode 5 had Will Holcomb on episode 4. Man, I need to listen to some of those old ones. I need to go back and listen to some of those and just hear how terrible I was. Even having Ellie D'Andrea. Ellie D'Andrea, if you don't know who she is, I'll find her Instagram real quick. She goes by... Hang on. Sorry, there's going to be awkward silence right now. Come on, go faster. Give me a second, guys. Fuck. Ellie. Nope. Yeah, what's her name? Ellie. Outdoors Ellie. Yeah, so I remember working with Ellie at Lululemon in Pittsburgh. And she was... Shut the fuck up. building, man. She was an educator just like me in Pittsburgh, and she hated social media. At that time, she was a hunter, but I knew her for being a bar teacher. But anyway, I was working with Ellie DeAndrea in Pittsburgh for Lululemon. I knew her as a bar teacher, or a bar instructor, I should say. And I knew that she hated social media. She hated social media so much. She'd never used her Instagram, didn't have a Facebook page, was kind of forced to have a Facebook page because, at work, that was the only way we knew how to communicate, through like shift swaps and what was going on in the community. And then I think it was around the time that I either left Lululemon or something like that. I can't even remember. Actually, when we were doing goals and goal coaching, when we came on, I was just about to start Honor and Conquer, and she told us her goals about hunting. I was like, whoa, she wants to be a hunter. And at the time I was like, okay, like what kind of hunter? But the more she started talking about it, the more I knew she was kind of legit about it. Like, holy fuck, she is, fucking balls deep in hunting. So that was awesome. And then around the time when I left, she started talking to me about, I'm going to start an Instagram page and like do this and, about my journey through being a hunter. It's like, fuck yeah, do that. I'll fucking follow it. And I think I followed it that day, like Outdoors Ellie. I think I went on Instagram and I followed it that day. And now, since then, she's got 78.8 thousand followers. And she's the fucking face of hunting. Well, not really, but, she does what she does and she loves what she loves, and she's got her own YouTube channel, and I should really hit her up again from episode 3 back in the day to all the way to now. Fuck, that'll be sick. I should get her on. I really should get her on. Actually, that's a fucking solid idea. But yeah, absolutely fucking amazing. I love it, and I love the show has given me so much, and I don't think I realized how much it was going to give me in terms of like the personalities or the opportunities that have come my way, and the people that I've met over the phone, in real life, or whatever, online. It's been very, very satisfactory. But yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. November is coming up oh my gosh, November's coming up hard and heavy, bro. We're heading out to Pittsburgh on November. Megan's still trying to get a fight, but for the 4th of November at Iron City Muay Thai, and it's just not happening. Oh, well, like, not that it's not going to happen, but no one wants to connect with me. Why? Sorry, I'm on my Facebook page. Some fuckhead wants to connect with me. Not fuckhead, but someone wants to connect with me. Message requests. Okay. See filtered ones, maybe? Fuck, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, heading out to Pittsburgh, 4th of November. Our team, they've got some fights. We've got 2 people from Bang Muay Thai fighting on that card, and we're still trying to get Megan on the card, but I don't know, man. I don't want to speak ill on this person, but I just don't know if this person is working hard enough, man, to get this fight going, but more interested in money, which fucking annoys me. And you could say, like, so you need money to get the show going. It's like, yeah, but if you got all that money and the show's not going, like, you need fighters too, man. That's a problem, man. And I've said it on this podcast before. This is the fucking problem with fight sports in America, in general. Is that, oh man, how do you fucking say it? Oh man, how do I even say it? Like, the fight sports here in America are so fucking different compared to New Zealand. Like, it's just strange, man. New Zealanders, or like, so here in America, everyone has the desire to go pro or wants to make money from fighting. And it just fucking upsets me because in New Zealand, no one gives a fuck about the money. Well, I mean, you should, but no one cares. Like, you just get in the ring and just fucking do a fight. You can't expect money off your first fight, right? You can't expect money off your first fight because your first fight is going to be utter shit. And, like, I don't think a lot of people understand that. Straight up. You have 1 or 2 fights and then you're like, oh, I should start getting paid. It's like, no, you shouldn't. You should not start getting paid, you fucking piece of shit. This is the sport. This is the sport you sign up for, man. Straight up. And if people complain or fucking get up in arms about it, about, you know... I mean, here's the thing. I may be really old school about it, but if you're scared about getting punched in the face, then get the fuck out of the sport. You know what I mean? Everyone's talking about concussions and da 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 da. And if you're that smart, then don't fight. And it's just that simple. You know what I mean? You can't get into a fight and not get punched in the face. You can minimize that as much as you can, and I think that is the ultimate goal. Not to get punched in the face. No one likes that. You know what I mean? So you want to minimize that as much as possible. But I hate it when people complain about that. And then they get in the ring and they're like, oh man, I should start getting paid. I need to get paid. I need to get money. It's like, no, you don't. You know what you signed up for. You know what you signed up for. No one's going to give a fuck about you. And like, you need to just keep working. You know what I mean? Like Mikey Wilkins. Actually, this is a prime example. Chris Sunshine Williams, who's, I want to say he's been fighting for at least 4 years, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe probably longer, maybe even shorter. I don't think shorter. Actually, Chris Williams, have a look at him. Chris Sunshine Willie Hams. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at his record. We're going to go on his record. We're going to have a look. Tapology. Let's go to Sherdog. Okay. So, 15, 16, 17. Oh, fuck. So he's been fighting for under a year. Not a year. Under 2 years. 3 years maybe. Under 3 years. 15, 16, 17. Oh, sweet. Oh, hello, ad. Don't do that. I'm going to fucking cancel out of you. Yeah, and he's undefeated. He's undefeated as an amateur, and he's undefeated as a pro. So, yeah, and they signed him up. He's a featherweight fighter. He signed him up to Bellator. But anyway, yeah, this guy is a perfect example of hard work. I mean, obviously there are more examples, but I'm only using this one because I know him. He's a young kid. He's only 23, I think, maybe 23, 24. But he's just been training, working, studying, and trying to make money as best as he can. And this is another thing that a lot of people want to get paid. Like, I need to get money. But sponsors aren't going to approach you, dumb shit. You need to look for that shit. You know what I mean? You need to look for that. You can't just go and expect to get paid. Like, oh yeah, a sponsor's going to hit me up any day now. No, they're not. Guarantee it, they're not. You have to approach them. And I hate it when people have these events that are going on and they just put it out on Facebook, expecting Facebook is going to be the answer. It's not. You have to fucking do old school. You have to call them up. You have to set up meetings. You have to do the email. You have to do all the shit that you don't want to do. And that's how I get half the guests on this damn show. Hit them up. Talk to them. Meet them in real life. You know what I mean? Create conversation. I don't know why, but people just don't do that these days. Just don't they don't want to they don't want to work hard for the things that they want or love or whatever you have, you know what I mean? People aren't willing to do that. And I don't know why. I mean, we talked about it on episode 110, talking about You know, is it a generational thing? I think it is. I definitely think it's a generational thing. I mean, my generation is. I mean, we want everything, and in my head, I know I want everything. I want everything, but I know realistically that can't be the case in some respects. It just can't be. So you have to be realistic. And I know people are going to be like, why not, man? Why not, Dion? Why can't you chase after those unattainable goals? Because that's exactly what they are. They're unattainable. It's easy for anyone to say, I want to own a multi-million-dollar company. I just said it. Okay, cool. How are you going to make it happen? And that's the disconnect that I genuinely believe that happens. People will say, I want to go on holiday. We got to go on holiday. We have to. But they're not willing to sort out the finer details, like how are you going to get the money? How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? People always seem to forget that there's work that actually goes into getting those things that you want. And even, like for me, I mean, anyone can own a company these days. Like legit, even on the smallest level. Anyone can make a company out of anything today. If you want to make an apparel company, you can 100% do it. Like, and I'm not talking about like apparel. I'm talking about prints on T-shirts. Anyone can make that type of business. Like anyone can. But are you willing to put the work in, and how much are you willing to, creatively give time to that idea? And that's when I think most people fucking suffer. Because they're like, I don't know what to do. I've ran out of ideas. Well, no, you haven't run out of ideas. You just haven't shared the possible idea with anyone else. Yeah, I think that's it. Like creating conversation around all that shit, Like even with this show. Like, I mean, it's successful to an extent, right? I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about it though. Like I don't. I mean, you listen to it or you don't. You know what I mean? Like, you either like it or you don't. And that's fine. And here's the thing though. We've been doing this for damn near 2 or 3 years. And of course, not a lot of people are going to listen to every single episode. Like some people may even have turned this episode off already because they realize it's just me and I'm talking absolute bullshit. and that's okay. But I know that people are going to listen to another one. Maybe I'm not going to get loyal listeners. Well, maybe I'll have loyal listeners. And I'll appreciate the fuck out of it too. But I think a lot of people put... sorry, I'm looking at my computer. That's why there's a lot of awkward silences right there. I'm looking at... I shouldn't even be looking at my computer, but I'm obsessed right now. I was looking at... So I don't know if this is what you guys do, but if I'm at home and I'm working, right, I go down the biggest loophole of... There's this YouTube channel called Looper, and I'll go down the fucking YouTube rabbit hole of things to watch, like something's about to play. Nope, good. And it's like top 10 videos. It's so one that I was just watching. Oh fuck, I clicked out a bit by accident, but so there are some that are like the hardest movies to watch more than once, and it's got a thumbnail of, oh fuck, I forgot her name, but it was Requiem for a Dream. I'm like, ooh, and it'll make me instantly go, oh my gosh, yeah, that was really tough to watch. I wonder what else there is in there. Like, I wonder what other movies are in there. Oh, I need to click and watch it. So I'll click and watch it, and then I'll see another one that says actor replacements that totally ruin the show. And I'm like, okay, that caption sounds like bullshit. But then on the thumbnail, it's Eric from that 70s show, and I'm like, oh, did they really replace Eric back in the day? Fuck, I need to watch that. So I'll watch it. And then I'll keep going, and then I'll just keep scrolling down. I'll keep watching it. And then I'll see another one that says, the real reason we never got to see Jackass 4. And I'm like, well, obviously, because Ryan Dunn died, passed away, I should say. But I need to see some more of that shit. So I'll click it. I go down this biggest rabbit hole. Fail Army is another favorite of mine. BuzzFeed Blue is another favorite of mine. Chris D'Elia is another. First We Feast. If you don't know what First We Feast is, it's there's one guy, his name is Sean Evans, and he gets him on the show, and they go through this entire like smorgasbord of hot sauces. They'll start with the mild, and they'll go all the way up to the most spiciest sauce. And while they're eating the chicken wings, like it's one chicken wing per bottle, once they do that, Sean Evans, the host, is asking the guest that's on the show questions while they're eating it, and you get to see, you'll get to see them just absolutely break down from sweat and panic and possibly pooing their pants. I go down rabbit holes on YouTube. It's the worst. I hate how addicted I am to it, but I love it at the same time. I love it so much. And I mean, everyone's got their little thing, and I have to like get off. I have to remind myself to get off sometimes, like to get off YouTube and just focus on doing work. Like I had to do that this morning. So if you guys don't know, I've got another podcast called Eagle versus Kiwi podcast, and the theme is about living in America from the perspective of a New Zealander. So it's just a show that's based on questions that I get asked every single day. And it's just more, it's the answers that I usually get, but in a more in-depth way, if that kind of makes sense. So actually, we'll break down an episode right now. If I'm from Australia, this is episode 2 of that. And I'll talk about it, because I want to. It's amongst the main questions that I always get on this damn fucking life here, living here in America, which is not bad. I love it. If anything, it makes me feel good, because people know where the accent's from. They go, "Are you from Australia?" I'm like, "No." New Zealand. Yeah, that's where I'm from. Oh, that was my second guess. Or when they say, "Are you from Australia?" I'm like, "Nope, but you can keep guessing. We'll play this game." Because I just can't be bothered sometimes, you know. I can't be bothered. I have a script. Okay, this is literally how the script goes. Someone comes up to me. "Hey, are you from New Zealand?" "Yes, I am." "Man, that's always where I wanted to go. That's on my bucket list." I'm so bad at accents. "Oh, yeah, it's it's a nice place to be. It's not a bad place to call home." It's like, oh my God. What's another question? How did you end up here in Austin? I'm like, oh, well, I've only been here in Austin for about 3 months. And before that, I moved from Portland, Oregon. And before that, I moved from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And before that, I was living in New Zealand. "Oh, so why'd you move so much?" Like, "Oh, well, my wife studied her master's in New Zealand at the University of Auckland. Then when she couldn't find a job in New Zealand, she said, 'Do you want to move back to America with me?' I said, 'Sure, why not?' We got married. We moved over to Pittsburgh. She got a job, worked for that for like 3 years, and then off for 2 years or something like that. And then we moved. She got a job offer in Portland, moved to Portland, stayed there for a year, got a job offer in Austin, moved to Austin, and now we're here." "Oh, man, that's so cool. That's so cool." And here's another one. "Where in Australia are you from?" Like, I'm not from Australia. Oh. Usually if I'm over it and it's at the end of the day, when people say, "Where in Australia are you from?" I'm like, nowhere. I'll play the fucking game. "Nowhere." "Oh, where are you from? Great Britain?" "No, not from England." "South Africa?" "I gotta be close with South Africa." "Nope. Nowhere near South Africa." However, our rugby team have had phenomenal games against the Springboks. Oh, and then they'll usually go, oh, where could you be from? Where could you be from? I'm from New Zealand. Oh, New Zealand was my next guess. They try to be fucking cute with me and go, that was my next guess. And in my head, I'm like, no, it fucking wasn't. So shut the fuck up. And I'm so bitter about it right now as I'm talking about it. But I don't mind where people ask me where I'm from, because if anything, it shows me that they're educated enough to know that it's from that part of the world. But it's when people assume where I'm from, they'll go, are you sure you're not from Australia? I'm like, yeah. Are you sure you're not from Canada? Is when people assume where I'm from. That's what really fucking gets me, because it just gets me going, and I can't help it but just insult them back. It's like, oh, yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. I'm like, nope, there's a Tasmanian fucking sea that separates us. It's part of the Pacific Oceans, all right? There's a sea, there's a complete ocean that separates us from Australia. If anything, you and Canadians sound exactly the same. And you have a border that separates you. Not even fucking water. You have a border. So if anything, you guys are the fucking same. You guys are literally a stone's throw away. We are a stone with a catapult attached to it away. Far, far away. But you guys sound... this is one I had yesterday. Do New Zealanders and Australians sound the same? This question is tough because it's usually paired with aren't New Zealanders and Australians the same? Because it's a different wording, right? Is New Zealanders and Australia the same? No, we're completely different. Do Australians and New Zealand sound the same? Now, this is where it gets tricky. For me, I say we are hella different in accent, but you would only understand that if you were an Australian, a New Zealander, or you've lived in either of those places for multiple years, or if even a year. That's the only way you're going to know the difference between the two. But if you're an outsider, like these ladies were asking me yesterday, you're not going to know, and you're going to look at it the same, which I can appreciate. But, again, don't assume where I'm from. Another great question I had in Pittsburgh, and I go more in detail into this on the Eagle vs. Kiwi podcast, which you can listen to at eagleversuskiwipodcast.podbean.com. It's not yet up on iTunes. I'm still working on that. Was, where are you from? This lady came into work. She said, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from New Zealand. She said, no, where are you from? I was like, oh, because I'm brown. I got you. I'm Samoan by birth, New Zealander by birth, Samoan by blood, because my family is Samoan. Oh, and this is the kicker. She said to me right after that, she said, oh, where in Mexico is that? I'm like, you are a fucking cunt. So, because she didn't understand the traditional way, the real way of how you meant to say Samoan, was I said Samoan. So, I realized the wrong word that I used in her small brain, so I corrected myself and I said, oh, no, Samoa. Oh, you're from Samoa. I'm like, yeah, like The Rock, The Rock, he's half black, Hawaiian, he's got a little bit of Samoan in him. Oh, yes, I know now. I love it when people trying to like punch home like understanding. Oh, yes. I got it now. I got it. Then they start to whisper. Yeah, I got it. But I don't mind it. Again, I do not mind it. It's just when people assume. Gets my fucking gears going. But I just want to do a really quick podcast. Just a really quick one. Let's just talk about what's going on in the show, and not a whole lot, to be honest. Not a whole lot's going on. I'm just working on just graphics for the show and all that kind of shit, and reaching out to possible guests in the future. And if you guys are wanting to start a podcast, if you guys want some tips on how to start one, here's the deal. Stop thinking about it and just do it. Even if everyone's got a phone. Everyone's got a voice recorder on it. Boom. Podcast. Because there's no real definition of a podcast, right? There's no real, there are equipment that is great for a podcast, but by definition, let's look up the definition of a podcast. You don't necessarily need the most, I just put podcasts. You don't need, come on. Podcast. You don't need any of the flashy shit. Straight up, you don't need it. Okay, by definition. Let's have a look at the definition. Here we go. Okay, podcast is an episodic series of digital audio or video files which a user can download and listen to. It is often available for subscription so that new episodes are automatically downloaded via web syndication to the user's own local computer, mobile application, or portable media player. So, that's the definition of a podcast. So it doesn't say anything about gear. It doesn't say anything about fucking things you should be doing. It's just your own personal radio, radio frequency that you have. So when I say just use your phone, just use your phone. Worry about the content that you're creating. Don't worry about the fucking other shit that anyone else is doing, because you're going to hold yourself as a standard, and you're going to try to reach that standard, and you're never going to be fucking satisfied. Trust me, I fucking tried to do it. I've looked at other shows, or I've looked at other things on Instagram, and I'll be like, fuck, how do they get all those, and how do they get that? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. So just do the shit that you do and, create conversation around that. Like how this podcast started, I used this. I'm going to show you right now. This is the iPad I used. It's the iPad that I used for my very first episode 1, and I used it all the way up to I can't even remember now. All the way up to I know it when I go to it. I'll know it straight away. I use this little setup. I just used the built-in microphone on this iPad, and I just used the built-in the built-in app, the voice recorder for this iPad. I didn't have any fancy fucking get-ups. I didn't have any of that shit. I use this setup that I have right now up until episode 8. I thought it was a little bit longer than that, but apparently I was wrong. Yeah, up until episode 8. And I was just using the built-in microphone. And it was fucking great. Didn't have a big elaborate setup like I do right now. But that came with time. The setup that I have right now, it came with time. It came with working hard. It came with reaching out to sponsors. It came with a whole bunch of shit. Having my Patreon supporters, they give me money every single month, and I'm appreciative of that. And that goes into this setup. Like it goes into this GoPro camera that I've got going on, which is just the Honor and Conquer GoPro. We've got the cameras. We've got the fucking recording device that I've got down here you can't see off. This is what I use to record to travel as well. Sorry for you listeners. It's a Zoom H4n. I've got this fucking scissor arm for mics that I bought way back in 2015, and I've kept forever so I can use them again for these types of situations. Microphones, the upkeep of the cables, the XLR cables, because sometimes the XLR cables fucking break halfway through an episode, and I don't have the money to buy a new one. So, it's fucking happened. So, I guess, just start with what you know. This is the fucking tip that I got for you. Get your iPad, get your phone, record it, record the audio, record 5 episodes before going live, by the way. That's a side note. And then just release them. Like every week, every second week, every month, whatever your schedule is. Has to be realistic, though. Has to be on point. All right? And if you guys want to know fucking more, just hit me up on Instagram or hit me up in an email. I'm more than happy to fucking talk to you. But yeah, okay, I'm going to cut this episode real short. But thank you very much for listening to the show. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed. And look, if you haven't subscribed, I'm going to look you dead in the fucking eye. If you're listening to this on YouTube, let me get situated. If you haven't subscribed to this podcast, I'm truly, truly unhappy with you. Okay? I'm truly unhappy with you. But here's what you can do. It's going to make it better. Alright? Alright? I'm going to fucking make this shit better. You go to your favorite podcast app. iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play. And you download, you subscribe to this podcast. You review this show. Do a review on it. And you rate the show a 5-star show. And while you're on YouTube watching this, why don't you hit that subscribe button in the top right corner of this damn video? Because it'll mean a lot to me. You know what I mean? And look, even if you guys have any podcasts, like guest ideas, feel free to hit me up. I'm still working on getting this one particular guest who I've followed for a couple of months now. And he's so fucking inspiring. His name is Gordon. He trains with Isak. He's this big dude, but he turns up to the gym. He holds himself accountable in the most awesome way, and Isak does a great job of keeping him accountable to his fitness goals. And he just shows up and he does the fucking work, and I find that super amazing. So, not just amazing, super amazing. So I'm going to try real hard to get him on the show, which will be fucking great. But yeah, if you haven't done it, subscribe to the show, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram at Honor and Conquer. If you want to pledge to the show, chuck a couple of shekels into the podcast, or in New Zealand you call them shrapnel. If you want to chuck a couple of shraps into the mix, go to patreon.com/honorandconquer, and there, if you do want to give like $1 or $2, you'll get rewarded in the process, okay? So it'll mean a lot to me, and it'll go directly straight into the show. Okay. Oh yeah, and if you shop on Amazon, go to honorandconquer.com, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, hit the Amazon banner, and do your shopping like you normally would. Why? Because we get a percentage kickback on every purchase that you make through those affiliate links. And thank you to our sponsors, Me Eat Paleo. Go to meeatpaleo.com, use our promo code HONOR, and get a 10% off, 10% discount off your online order for your nut butters. And also, if you want some free shit from Onnit, this isn't going to happen all the dang time. It's not going to happen all the time. This is a very unique opportunity and situation that you have in your hands. All right? I'm looking at you in the camera. Like this. Like a little puppy dog. If you want a free 30-count bottle of New Mood, a daily stress and mood support enhancer, all right? If you want that. Or if you want my favorite pre-workout supplement, the Shroomtech Sport, if you want a free 28-count bottle of that, go to honorandconquer.com/onnit, click your preferred link, and all you have to pay for is shipping, which is going to be like $5 or $6. All right? And it's only available in the United States of Americas. All right? So you can only get it here in America. You only have to pay for shipping, and you get a free bottle, like for free. You don't have to do shit. Okay? But if you get there and you're like, I don't want any of this shit. I don't want none of this shit. I want Alpha Brain. Or if I want the Tonka bars. I want matcha green tea. Matcha chai green tea. Chai tea? I don't know. I want the Alpha Brain Instant Mix. I want Shroomtech Immune. If you want any of those, look, I've got you covered there too. Just use the promo code GetOnnit. GetOnnit, and we get 10% off your online order. Okay? That's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. Goodbye and good night. Kenny Omega Styles. If you don't know who Kenny Omega is, look him up on Google.